of Belfast closest to us. We're about to go away. Let's listen to the sound of these quads take off.
Attention! Go!
The trains pull out of the station in the Prince of Wales Challenge Cup. It's Bagsværd on the left and Queen's University Belfast on the right, getting away pretty cleanly. A little touch of the hat from Hugh Moore in the stroke seat of Belfast before they get underway. Very relaxed start from him.
Well, you could definitely see that the Bagsværd team were really up for it. They had taken 2 strokes before Queen's Belfast had taken 1. Let's see how that's paid off for them.
And you know, Jack, you're probably one of the most experienced and successful athletes we've got who's rode a quad. So take us through what it's like to be in this particular boat class.
Well, it's quite interesting because there's a lot going on. There's 8 blades going on. You're going not too much slower than an 8. It's a really quick boat. There's a lot of sort of skill you have to be able to do and carry out fantastically whilst working as hard as you can. And at this point in the race, you're trying to decide when and how do we transition from the real brutality of the start onto a sustainable race pace. But the races are still short enough that it can't be that sustainable. You're really on the knife edge.
Super fast, super exciting boat to watch, and as we look at what's going on here, we can see a little bit of advantage now from Queen's University Belfast. Coming into this, it's quite hard to judge the form. We know that the Bagsværd crew were second at the Danish Championships. We've got a couple of under-23 silver medalist lightweights in the Belfast crew in bow and stroke, and at the moment it looks like Belfast have got a pretty good position this early in the race.
Yeah, and I really like the way that Queen's Belfast boat is sort of rocking over with their bodies, and then in the second half of the stroke you can see a big sort of hip swing, and in this kind of headwind that really pays off.
So talk us through that. So the headwind you have to row a bit differently. Explain for those who may be friends and family what that means.
So the race is a bit longer. The wind is definitely not helping you, and I think it really helps to use your body weight to sort of be a bit brutal into the wind in these sort of headwind conditions.
And that shot shows it perfectly, exactly what Jack's just saying. You can see the legs go down, but the body sort of swing back on top of it, don't they? So that's a really nice feeling of acceleration there.
Yeah, you can actually sort of see the boat tipping forwards and backwards, and that is the weight of the body swinging forwards and back. And if you can get that right, I think you can use a swing to actually move the boat. So it's not only what your blades are doing, but actually that swing.
So there we go, Hugh Moore sitting at stroke, Ronan Gibbon behind him, Fergus Bryce at 2, and Kieran Purdy in the bow seat. They range between 20 and 24 years of age from Belfast, and now we're looking at them on the left of the picture, and you can see they've opened up a bit of a lead. I think the umpire was intervening a bit. Looks to me like the Belfast crew a little bit close to the centre of the track here, and the umpire will be making sure that they're not impeding in any way the crew from Bagsværd.
Yeah, and having steered out there this morning, it is not easy to stay on a straight line, really. Both of us and our opposition got worn through the race, but if I were the Queen's Belfast steersman, I'd be doing my best just to stay on my station now, not give anyone a reason to worry, just make it a clean race.
Yeah, so Kieran Purdy in the bow seat of the Belfast, Queen's University Belfast crew has got the steering shoe. So these quads, you've got 2 oars, and some people would steer a quad just by kind of changing the pressure on the oars, but typically they'll also, because they're so fast, will have a little rudder to add to the steering too, won't they?
Yeah, so for those of you that haven't been inside a rowing boat, we have shoes inside the boat, pretty much a pair of trainers inside the boat, and they're fixed in, and the steers person is on a kind of swivel pivot thing, which is attached to a cable to a rudder, so you can twist your shoe and that will change the direction of the boat.
Here is Bagsværd with Nicholas Schmidt in the stroke seat, 28 years old at 3, Malte Furo also 28, Emil Eigenbrod at 2, 25 years old, and Jakob Klaassen at bow at 28 years old. So they're a bit older in the crew, but they've got a lot to do now, Bagsværd, and they're right up against the booms. I'd be a bit uncomfortable. When you can feel that you're that close to an obstruction, it can be a bit unsettling, can't it?
It certainly can be, but sometimes people want to be close to the booms as well to know that they're doing a straight course. So if you're the steers person, you're in control. For the other 3, it's pretty scary to be close.
So that's right, actually, I really remember this from when I was steering 4s and quads, and other people were as well. Sometimes you want to be the steerer because you know what you can do, but the crew has to really trust you. And if they start to feel, hang on, you're not doing your job, then their attention goes off their job. It's part of the nature of being a crew, isn't it? And trusting.
Yeah, well, you know, in my boat, the other 3, I'm sure, would do a great job of steering. I just want to do it because I know I'm in control of it.
Well, let's get into personality traits a little bit later. So here we go. This is lovely sculling, isn't it, Jack? Let's just talk us through what you can see here.
It's great. Like, this shot really showcases it. You can just see how their bodies rock over as they come for the catch. Okay, what the blades do is fantastic, but that's exactly the same in the Bagsværd quad. They are a good-looking crew, but just the way their sort of hands come away, the recovery phase, you see the boat just surge on as they rock over, and that's perfect. That's what you want.
And I'm always looking for simplicity. Just look at the straight line they're cutting through that course. There hasn't been a deviation from that straight line for them. They're in a comfortable position, super straight, super simple, super long, as you say, and I think you called it out really nicely against the wind. They're just levering. So it's a kind of efficient. They're using the body weight as much as the power of those legs and backs to move the boat through the water.
Yeah, and what they're also doing fantastically is in this wind, it's quite difficult to square your blades and put them into the water in a clean way and all together.
Umpire Richard Phelps just warning the Queen's University crew again. They were a little bit closer to the middle, so for the first time they're having to make a little bit of a steering correction there, get back on the straight and narrow. Now we can see behind them those boxes, those wooden structures in the river. You can just about see the red circle there, which is at the finish line. Above it, a box of lights that tell us when the crew has passed the line. So they're within reach now of the finish at Henley Royal Regatta. And they're being warned again by Richard Phelps, so they're probably being blown across the course a little bit here.
Well, what I'm wondering is whether they put in such a big shift in the first half of the race to get this sort of lead that actually now they are really like looking for home and struggling to maintain the steering, because it is hard when you're full of lactic acid and you know, you're thinking about all of the other bits, the skill I spoke about at the start of the race. The steering bit is the first thing to go.
So right, Jack, isn't it? Although these athletes look like they're in control, they've done a lot of work and they're pretty tired, and that third quarter of the race is the one that we all kind of know is it's the Badlands, it's the difficult time. You're going black on things, and even if you're in a commanding position, you may well be feeling rather more tired. So the umpire's watchful eye remains on, and that's Richard Phelps in his Cambridge cap there and his Latimer School blazer. Colourful characters, all of our umpires here, lots of rowing knowledge between them. But here we go. Queen's University, Belfast are coming into the last few strokes.
Now, if it finishes as it looks like it will, they'll really want to make sure in the closer races that they are more on top of that steering, because that can be a race loser.
Absolutely right. So after any race, there's always discussions, win or lose, win and go on to the next round, lose and learn, as we say. So there's always things to be learned from any performance, however good. But crossing the line now, we've got Bagsværd, who have been beaten today by Queen's University Belfast, just coming alongside to pay their respects to each other. So a win for Queen's University Belfast in the Prince of Wales Challenge Cup over the visitors from Bagsværd